Hello everyone. I'm gonna have to keep my voice quiet tonight because my family is all asleep, but I wanted to get this live for you as soon as possible. 3-hour season finale episode tonight. So I'm gonna consolidate this hopefully in less than 10. Okay, so firstly, results. Sochi won, Jason in second, Ariana in third, Charity in fourth, and Allison in fifth. Okay, we kicked off the night with what they called a redemption dance. And the judges for each dancer picked their weakest dance of this season, and they had an opportunity to re-dance that style and show improvement. Allison was first on the floor, did a salsa, too high in the legs, stiff in the arms, too upright, but props to her. Every single week she brings it on and consistently has shown the most improvement week to week. So overall, better speed, better foot and ankle lines, better arm coordination. Those certainly the weakest dancers still of the remaining dancers. Okay, second on the floor we had Jason. They did a foxtrot. Unfortunately, his left hand was still way too forward. So generally speaking, his lead in these ballroom dances, you want to have your right hand forward, but your left hand is back. And he tends to dance with both forward, kind of hunched over the top of her. So he really didn't improve that, unfortunately, in tonight's dancing. But I do love that they infused it with a mix of jazz, Broadway, to emphasize his strengths, like syncopations, hitting the timing. So, did great as always. Okay, third to the floor, we had Ariana. She and Pasha did a samba. Very soft in the upper body. Looked a lot like a salsa. Very low, and generally we're going to have at least one extended leg line. She did have a good bouncing action, which we would expect to see in a samba. I've been disappointed. She came out of the chute, in my opinion, as a contender for number one, and has either held or gradually gone downhill each week. Though, in her defense, she did have a back injury. I think this was like week 2. So I sure hope she's not nursing that injury, because that will just bite your dancing in the butt. And as we know on this show, you don't have a chance to heal. You just got to throw it down every week. I will say, I don't think flexibility was an issue for her. They did samba rolls, and she was very flexible in the back in that one figure. My guess is because she was darn near leaning on him, just the nature of the figure, how it rolls. So that was interesting to see, and that was a nice pattern for her. Next up, we had Charity on the floor, who redanced a tango. She and Jason both had a really weird head position tonight in their ballroom dances. And yes, tango is one of the traditional ballroom dances. You might think it's Latin. It's ballroom. So both of them, and I'm going to show you from the side because it's just weird as all can get out to me, because they have a beautiful back line, but the neck is jetted out. If you saw the movie E.T., where E.T. jets his head out of the stuffed animals, it's like, and then their head's on its own little gyroscope. I don't know if you can see here. It's like a little forward head. Generally in these ballroom dances, you want one complete body line from your knee to your head. And they've got beautiful body lines from here down, and then here up is all jacked up. So anyway, interesting to see. Everyone's got strengths. Everyone's got weaknesses. And finally, Sochi came to the floor, and they did a foxtrot. She needed much better leg tracking in any of the continuity figures. So that means the knees are passing each other with each step. She does it great in the Latin dances. Not sure why it's missing in the ballroom dances. So unfortunately, that did not improve this episode. But she did have softer arms that actually filled the music compared to her last foxtrot, because she tends to dance everything a little Latin-y. That being said, Val, her partner, does specialize in Latin, so that may not be Sochi's fault. But as always, amazing showmanship, mesmerizing, beautiful dancing, very talented. And she deserved all the 10s that she got in that dance. Now, I have a secret. I don't know if you've seen my video I shared on what goes on behind the scenes in Dancing with the Stars, because I've had friends on the show and I've been to live filming many times. I'll tell you what, in that final episode, I don't want to say the judging's rigged, but it's kind of rigged. So if you're sitting immediately behind the judging panel, the judges, it's old school. They just have like a cardboard box with the numbers in the box that they reach down and grab and hold up. And in that final episode, all of them only had 3 numbers in their box that they could have picked from. So in my opinion, I don't know this for a fact, but I think they're playing into this audience kind of desire to see the cast improve. And even if these dancers don't improve, they get to kind of feel that joy with them of, oh yay, they got better, look at that number. So I thought you'd find that to be interesting. I'll post a link to that video below in the description if you want to see more behind the scenes secrets. After the, I'll call it redemption dance, they did a freestyle. Okay, so Charity was first to the floor. She did a cheerleading thing with about 10% cha-cha. What I didn't like about all the freestyle dances this time is they all had 9 professional dancers and the 1 star. So the star danced with their pro and the 9 or 8 professional backup dancers. I found it personally to be a little bit distracting. I want to focus on that competitor, not the amazing dancers behind them and what they're doing. I thought it was great in terms of entertainment value for the show, but I found it a little distracting trying to judge the actual dancing of that star. After Charity's cheerleading number, Jason came out and did an amazing swing jitterbug number. I loved his because it was the most real dancing. He didn't do any posing. He danced the entire time, all out. Loved it. Next up, Ariana came to the floor. She did kind of a hip hop, I don't even know what it was. Definitely least favorite dance of the evening by far. Lots of posing, and I'll say gyrating, trying to look sexy, and that's not my jam. I don't personally want to come across on the floor that way, and I'm not super keen on it when other people come across on the floor that way. I would love people to look at me because of beautiful dancing, not because I'm, touching my body parts and standing there doing, nothing that's a real dance step. So that was pretty disappointing to see, though again, might be due to that possible extended back injury. Okay, next up we had Allison to the floor. She did a ballroom Latin medley, so love that, real dancing. And although certainly the weakest of all the dancers in the freestyle, you know what? Props to her. Once again, it was her best dance of her season. So amazing improvement. Testament to her hard work. And finally, Sochi came to the floor and she chose a Bollywood number, which I thought was super interesting. In a nutshell, I love her effervescent personality, that contagious joy I feel when she's dancing on the floor. I just want to jump in there and feel that joy and dance along. And she has exuded that in every single dance this season. So I was so happy to see her win. What a sweet spirit. And they all were really wonderful this season. So I felt the results were really fair. Other than I probably would have placed Charity ahead of Ariana, but close enough. Okay, guys, I hope you liked last night. If you have a different opinion on who should have won or things that you saw, please comment below. I'd love to see what you think too. Okay, guys, Good night.